Yvonne Robinson.
Nice to meet you. I'm Cristel.
Hi, Cristel.
So tell me, what are you guys doing here today at the Colbourne's house?
Well, this Colbourne house is 100 years old this year, and we're having a large celebration on August the 26th. And as a result, we want to prepare the yard because we have so many entertainers and people coming to exhibit. So we're working at sprucing it up.
That's awesome. And how are you affiliated with this historical house?
I'm the chairperson on the board, and I've been on the board almost 15 years. And the restoration of the house started because it was on the verge of being pushed down. And we just felt it was salvageable because it was indicative of a working class family at the turn of the century. And this is how people were. They built small homes at one point. 10 children lived in this house.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So what is the story of this house?
Well, it was built by Thomas, and he was a carpenter, and he lived in it for a number of years, and then he rented it. And it turns out, I only found out after I was on the board for a number of years, that my husband's grandmother had rented it with her 10 children.
Wow!
And then it was sold to the Colbournes in 1936, and they lived here till about 1986. And then it was sold, and the city eventually bought it because they were going to develop all of this land in this area as a hub for the bus station.
Oh wow, really?
And that fell through, so the house just fell into disrepair. And the woman that lived in it, the Colbournes, their daughter, Yvonne, turned out to be my Sunday school teacher, Yvonne,
wow.
who in her married name was Boutiel, and she was already on the board when I joined. And it just became a passion for all of us that grew up in the area because it's the size of home that we grew up in. Everybody had a family garden, it was a small community, and we just felt it was worth saving and trying to teach the next generation.
That is incredible. What are you trying to teach the next generation?
Well, the fact is that they think they need so much, when in fact you can see you can survive with so little. The children are quite fascinated when they come in to discover there's no cupboards in the house. And as we explained, children didn't have a lot of clothing. You had your Sunday school clothing and your school clothing, and you had your play clothes. And when you came home from school, you got out of your school clothes and you immediately got into your play clothes because you didn't have an abundance. The washing machine is quite fascinating for them because it's a wringer washer. And when they talk about environmentally friendly, I always tell them that we were way ahead of our time because in the old days, the washing machine had an agitator. Usually it was manual, but this one's electric. And what happens is they wash the white clothes first, then the colored, and then the dark. And the children go, in the same water? And I go, yes, in the same water. And then you have a rinsing cycle and you have the wringers. But eventually that water that was used is taken off from the tap in a pail and brought out and watered the garden.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, so the kids...
We never do this any day,
no,
these days.
Nobody does it anymore. And I can remember even as a child when it was a really hot summer and we had water restrictions, if we had a bath or a shower, the plug was in and my father used a hose in the window to drain that water out and use it to water the garden.
You see, you have sustainability.
Yeah, I pass it on, I'm afraid. But it just makes sense.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes, yeah. It just makes sense to be respectful of what we have and not abuse it.
That's true. I heard that this area here will be turned into a community garden.
Yes,
okay?
We're working on having it become a community garden. The beds will be raised so that we won't be digging in the soil and disrupting any of the Indian artifacts that may be there. So we're working with the Musqueam Band and the City of Vancouver, and hopefully by next spring we'll be ready to plant.
What are you planning to plant?
Well,
or
what we're doing
going to get involved? Like
we have people listed that want a community plot, and they must become a member of the Colbourne House, and they must put in a certain number of hours, community hours for the house, and they will pay a nominal fee, and they must maintain it to a certain standard. Otherwise, they have to relinquish it, and the next person on the waiting list will get the community plot.
I think this is an incredible idea.
Well,
I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're excited too, because there's a lot of people around the community in condominiums and townhouses and that use the house and use the park to the north. They're out here playing all the time. I found a family out here the other night when I came to pick something up. It gives them a chance to get out and get in, get to know their community and get to know their neighbors, but also once the garden goes in, you can just see the camaraderie that's going to happen there.
Definitely.
All with the same purpose and cause. So we're really excited about it, and it also brings more attention to the house because as volunteers, everything we do we have to fundraise, and it's a lot of money.
It is.
Maintaining it.
That's true. I think getting the community involved with the house and getting them to have a sense of responsibility and connection to the ground and to their community will really get this house to grow and just keep the grounds really strong and stay stable in this place.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
it's very important for people to understand that we don't need a lot, but we can share what we've got, and that's what we try to do. And especially in the home, to recognize how little people got by with, and they were happy, they were content. The clothesline will go up this year.
Wow.
I have a clothesline at home, and I know that I'm a duck out of water compared to my neighbors, but I just think it's free, it's environmentally friendly, and why would I put it in a dryer when I have all that sunshine?
That's true.
Not today
Not
necessarily.
today. I live in Vancouver for a second. Yvonne, thank you so much.
Oh, let me take my glove off.
That's awesome.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much for taking the time to chat with us. Yvonne is the chair of Colbourne House, and I am Cristel, and you're watching Sustainability TV. Thank you.